Have won 5 of their last 6. The home team looks to make it 2 in a row. Baseball Night in America sends you to America's Dairyland for the Phillies and the Brewers.
Philly fans in Milwaukee to see one of baseball's hottest hitters and potential all-star, Dominic Brown, whose powerful bat has helped spark the Phillies offense. On the Brewers side, Gene Segura continues to impress with his exciting play as he makes his own case for a trip to the Midsummer Classic. Welcome to Baseball Night in America on Fox. Third of a 4-game series here in Milwaukee between the Phillies and the Brewers. Good evening, everybody. Kenny Albert along with Eric Karros. Phillies and Brewers have split the first 2 games in this series. Phillies, after a rough start to the season, have climbed back into the race in the National League East. And Dominic Brown is a big reason why.
Well, when you're talking about the Phillies this year, 500 ball club, but one man that's been exciting the entire time, Dominic Brown. He leads the National League in home runs with 18. In his last 14 games, he's hit 10. He earned Player of the Month honors for the month of May. Maybe he'll hit one tonight.
And here in Milwaukee, one of the bright spots for the Brewers has been their young shortstop, Gene Segura, scored the game-winning run at the bottom of the 9th last night.
Well, he is an exciting player, and I say exciting because he does it with his legs. He's got tremendous speed, second in the National League in stolen bases with 16, leads the National League in hits. He's been dynamic. He does it offensively, defensively. And again, when you come to the ballpark tonight, you're going to see 2 of the brightest, youngest players in the game that bring a lot of excitement.
Should be fun. Dominic Brown, Gene Segura, Phillies and Brewers coming up on Baseball Night in America on Fox. Saturday evening in Milwaukee. The roof is open as we get set for the Brewers and the Phillies. Phillies come in with a record of 31-31. Their batting order brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live boss. Michael Young, the third baseman, leads off, followed by Kevin Franzen. Jimmy Rollins bats third. Delvin Young in the cleanup spot. then Dominic Brown. John Mayberry bats sixth. Bottom of the order, the catcher Eric Kratz, second baseman Cesar Hernandez, and the pitcher Kyle Kendrick. The opening pitch brought to you by Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Phillies will face 30-year-old left-hander Tom Gorzelani, making his first start this season.
Yeah, well, you remember he came up as a starter with the Pittsburgh Pirates, and he's had 111 big league starts. So this isn't a foreign effort for him here. He's done this before. And see, this is when I talk about the scouting report back to where he started. Again, this isn't new territory for him. So the starting aspect shouldn't be something that he's all nervous about. He's got to give him 50. And the 50 means Ron Renicky doesn't expect him to go 7, 8, 9 innings. But you've got to give him a couple innings. Look for maybe 50 or 60 pitches.
Career record of 45 and 45 with the Pirates, Cubs, Nationals, and Brewers. So we are set here in Milwaukee as Michael Young will lead things off. Young in the leadoff spot for the third time this week. Last time he led off a game prior to this week back in 2004 with the Texas Rangers. Young, Franzen, and Rollins for the Phillies here in the top of the first. Both Ryan Howard and Ben Revere not in the Phillies starting lineup tonight. Phillies 5-game win streak came to an end last night. They had a 4-0 lead. Brewers would come back and win the game in the bottom of the ninth, 5-4. Now 2-1 on the 7-time All-Star Michael Young in his first season with the Phillies. Two and two.
Well, you talk about Michael Young leading off, and you know he's really in that position because of necessity. Ben Revere ideally would be the guy to lead off for this ball club, but he just hasn't been getting on base enough for these Phillies.
2-2 from Gorzelani, fouled off to the right side.
You know, Michael Young ideally a number 2 hitter. He could. You know, he used to hit third. He's probably somewhere in 6 or 7 spot now as well. But as you mentioned, Charlie Manuel just doesn't have a lot of options right now.
Kevin Franzen waiting on deck. And Jimmy Rollins. Phillies won the series opener on Thursday 5-1. And then it was the Brewers 5-4 last night. 2-2 from Gorzelani, right field. And it drops in for a base hit. So a leadoff single off the bat of Michael Young here in the top of the first inning. Defensively for the Brewers, brought to you by Scotts, the official lawn care company of Major League Baseball. Around the infield, Francisco, Weeks, Segura, and Ramirez. Braun in left, Gomez in center, Aoki in right. The battery of Gorzelani and Luke Croy. So with Michael Young on at first, Kevin Franzen steps in. Starting for Ryan Howard at first base. 10th start of the season for Franzen. And he takes high and away, ball 1.
Franzen getting the start. Ryan Howard not a lot of success historically against Tom Gorzelani. 2 for 14 with 6 strikeouts, no extra base hits.
Diving stop by Segura. Eric, you talked about his all-around play. It has not just been his offense, and he starts the 6-4-3 double play.
Well, when I said exciting player, again, he's going to do something, whether it's out in the field or up at the plate. Here he makes a diving grab, but see how quickly he recovers gets Bounce in a position to give Weeks a nice solid throw. Weeks turns a double play. But I think just his athleticism and like I said, the way he got to the ball and then his ability to get up, compose himself, and make a nice throw to second base.
So 2 away. Here's Jimmy Rollins. Rollins, good numbers, 5 for 12 lifetime against Tom Gorzelani. Gorzelani, 24 appearances out of the bullpen for the Brewers this season. Spent some time on the disabled list back in May with left shoulder tendonitis. Gorzelani made 1 start last season for the Washington Nationals. Nationals clinched the division October 1st. During their celebration, they told Tom, oh, by the way, you're starting tomorrow. With a makeshift lineup.
Yeah,
behind you.
Well, it's a makeshift lineup, and I guarantee you not everybody was probably seeing straight either out on that field. So it always makes it tough when you get that last start of the year, and it doesn't mean a lot for a lot of guys.
And that start came against these Phillies as Rollins singles into left center. Second hit of the inning. Michael Young erased on the double play, and now Rollins with a 2-out base hit.
Well, as you mentioned, 2 hits, and remember that ball that Kevin Franson hit was a rocket. Segura made a great play at short to start the double play.
Here's the Phillies cleanup hitter, Delman Young, working on a 6-game hitting streak. Went deep in Thursday night's game, drove in a run last night. Young started the season on the disabled list after coming over from the Tigers. We take you back to Thursday night, number 6 on the season for Delman Young.
Well, speaking with Charlie Manuel before the game, he had just said that he felt like Delman probably should have spent some more time in the minor leagues getting his swing honed before they brought him up. They were forced to bring him up. Feels like he's still trying to get his feet and get his timing and everything up at the plate, but with at-bats, he expects Delman Young to be a contributor. There's Charlie right there. A solid manager, great guy to play for, always has his players' backs. Still has the enthusiasm. And he was telling us before the game he still felt like get these guys healthy that they could make a run for this division. Here's Charlie.
Started the season 16-21. Phillies have gone 15-10 over their last 25 games. 6.5 out in the East. Aoki in right field is under it. 2 hits for the Phillies. Rollins stranded. Milwaukee Brewers batting order brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live boss. Marichka Aoki will lead off, followed by Gene Segura. Ryan Braun hits third. Then Aramis Ramirez in the cleanup spot. Jonathan Lucroy hits fifth. Carlos Gomez, the center fielder, sixth. Bottom of the order, Ricky Weeks, Juan Francisco, and the pitcher Tom Gorzolani as the Brewers face 28-year-old right-hander Kyle Kendrick.
Well, Kyle Kendrick coming off a complete game start. He's throwing well this year. It goes all the way back to July of last year. And for him to be effective, he uses all of his pitches. He's not just a two-pitch guy, like a fastball slider. He'll keep you off balance. He's not going to miss a lot of bats, but what he's going to do is miss the barrel of the bat.
Strike one to Aoki, working on an 8-game hitting streak, batting .299. Fouled off to the right side, 0-2. He does not strike out very often.
Well, he's gotten 59 plate appearances without a strikeout. And the ironic thing is, he's faced Kyle Kendrick one time in his career. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. So here we'll be on the edge of our seats right now. Already in the first inning, we've got 2 strikes on Aoki.
Here it comes, Eric. The 0-2 from Kendrick. Missing low and away. Ball 1. Aoki, Segura, and Ryan Braun for the Brewers here at the bottom of the first inning. Milwaukee with a record of 23-37. They had a 9-game winning streak back in April, but they have gone just 9-26 since the beginning of May. Another foul, back to the screen. So the count remains 1-2.
Well, and really that's been because the starting pitching has not lived up to the expectations. There you see Ron Renick, the manager of the Brewers, and he expected to have some struggles with the starters, but not as much as they've had so far. And you look at the starters ERA, and they're at the bottom of the league right now in the National League. And at the end of the day, the pitching is where things start. You look at that ERA, over 5.5. The relievers, on the other hand, especially as of late, have been very, very good. It doesn't matter when the game's over in the 4th or 5th inning. It's almost like you're playing for practice the last few innings.
Aoki did not go around, says John Tumpane, the third base umpire. Now 2-2.
We'll get a look at the side here. That's close. That's close. But if you haven't gone down for 59 plate appearances, got to be a little more deliberate than that to call you out.
8th pitch of the at-bat. Slap to the right side. Charging is Hernandez. And the throw beats Aoki, 1 away. Nice play by the second baseman, Cesar Hernandez. As we check out the Phillies defensively, brought to you by Scotts, the official lawn care company of Major League Baseball. Franson, Hernandez, Rollins, and Young around the infield. Brown in left, Mayberry in center, Delman Young in right. The battery of Kendrick and Eric Kratz. 1 away. Here's Gene Segura, who is 3rd in the National League in hitting at .339. Leads the league in hits with 80, in triples with 8.
Well, you talk about the hitting prowess, and this is just after coming off a 6 for 34 stretch, where he has struggled. Had a nice night last night.
This is where Segura ranks among shortstops in Major League Baseball.
You see right up there the hits and the multi-hit games. You know, and all of these sort of things, again, have to do with the legs. He's got a ton of infield hits. He's got speed. Also has some pop. 8 triples. 8 home runs as well.
One, two from Kendrick. Jimmy Rollins fires across, 2 away. So with 2 outs, Ryan Braun. It has been well documented. Braun's name in the news again this week as Major League Baseball reportedly reached an agreement with Anthony Bosch, the founder of the Biogenesis Clinic in South Florida. Braun, along with Alex Rodriguez and others, part of a list of players with alleged ties to Anthony Bosch.
And when it was brought to his attention, he said, look, I addressed it in spring training. Nothing has changed since then, and not going to comment on it until there's more information. And I think that's where we all stand. We're just kind of in a waiting pattern.
Braun, the National League MVP 2 seasons ago, 5-time All-Star. Five for 13 lifetime against Kyle Kendrick. Two outs, bottom of the first inning in Milwaukee. Deep left field. And it will come down into the glove of Dominic Brown, who will lead off for the Phillies in the top of the second when we return. Only 4 gives you EcoBoost fuel economy and a whole lot more. And by Taco Bell, sometimes you gotta live boss. Back in Milwaukee on Baseball Night in America. Kenny Albert, Eric Karros, top of the second inning as Dominic Brown steps in to lead off against Tom Gorzolati. coming off his historic month of May.
Yeah, fantastic month. Earned a Player of the Month honors in May. Take a look at what he's been up to. 12 home runs in May. You know, you look at that, though, Kenny, that 0 walks. The guys were going after him. I just don't think that'll continue.
As you mentioned in our open, 10 home runs his last 14 games, so his hot stretch has continued into the month of June. He's been named National League Player of the Week back-to-back weeks. 3 for 6 in this series without a home run. His 18 home runs, Eric Lee, the National League, 2 behind the Major League leader Chris Davis of the Orioles.
Well, and see, now this is a difference. It's 3-1, and you've still got to respect his power. You can't just throw one down the middle. You still got to hit a corner here.
And Brown sends this to deep right field. Number 19 on the season for Dominic Brown, his 11th home run in the last 15 games.
Yeah, I didn't even think I got that comment out of my mouth.
Wow.
It's 3-1. You still got to respect him. Throw it on the corner. Whack! And that's the problem. The pitchers have not respected him. I mean, they're still going after him. Here he starts off away. And this is great. The beginning of this at-bat is great as far as Gorzelani is concerned. We're going to nibble. We're going to stay away. We're going to stay away. But to Dominic Brown's credit, he's got himself in a 3-1 count.
Now John Mayberry, deep center. And the catch is made by Carlos Gomez at the wall.
Well, Mayberry getting up there, swinging at that first ball. You see Gomez show his athleticism. He times it perfectly. Looks like he takes away a home run. Saves Gorzelani there. Heck of an athletic play by Carlos Gomez.
So with one away, here's Eric Kratz, 0-1. Big weekend for Carlos. His bobblehead doll will be distributed here at the ballpark tomorrow.
Sure, he's excited about that. Probably get a few boxes.
As I am sure you did last year when your bobblehead was given out at Dodger Stadium.
Got a few boxes, Kenny. Yes, I did.
Oh, 2 from Gorzelani just misses. Now 1-2. His glove was a little higher when he robbed Mayberry moments ago. Kratz down on strikes, 2 away.
Well, you see, he's timed that perfectly. Glove over the wall. Again, Ron Renicky talked about his athleticism and all the things that he can do physically, and now he's becoming more of a baseball player this year. He's much more patient at the plate. He realizes what he can and can't do. Allowed him a lot of success so far this early part of the season.
Strike 1 to Cesar Hernandez. Phillies second baseman playing in his 9th game. Phillies hope to have Chase Utley back in the fold within the next couple of weeks. Same with catcher Carlos Ruiz.
Obviously not what you want to do here. Pitcher on deck, you'd like him to lead off the next inning. Nick Hernandez hit his way on.
Base hit into right field. So a 2-out single off the bat of Hernandez. His 7th hit in 25 at-bats with the Phillies.
And nice job of shooting at the right. Look, in the early part of this game, what you can say is Gorzelani's not fooling anybody. I mean, even in that first inning, he gave up a few hits, had that hard hit double play ball. In these, you have the home run. Gomez makes a great catch over the center field wall.
Here's the pitcher, Kyle Kendrick, who tripled in his last start against the Marlins on Monday. Kendrick with 5 hits this season. One and two on Kendrick. On the ground to the right side, Ricky Weeks to first. But the Phillies take the lead. Number 19 on the season off the bat of Dominic Brown. Phillies look to make it back-to-back, but Mayberry is robbed by Gomez. By Ace Hardware is sponsored by Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Art Museum here in Milwaukee. Phillies with a 1-0 lead. Kyle Kendrick retired the Brewers for the Cerveceros in order in the first inning. You may have noticed the alternate jerseys the Brewers are wearing today as Aramis Ramirez leads off here in the bottom of the second inning. Cerveceros Day, a celebration of Latino players who have been influential in the sport. It is the 8th annual Cerveceros Day here in Milwaukee.
When you think of cerveceros, you think of cerveza. That would be a ice cold beer.
Backhanded by Michael Young. Long throw on a couple of hops. And Ramirez safe at first, much to the chagrin of Kevin Franson.
Yeah, I'm going to say it right now without seeing a replay. Brian Knight missed that. And I saw that up here. He absolutely tagged him at first base. And Michael Young does a nice job. I'm not so sure he needed to get rid of it that early. I think he could have set himself because Aramis Ramirez is running. Now you see Franson has the ball and he tags him on the back leg. Shows it. Right there. Boom. And Brian doesn't see that. Right there on the cap. And Franson wouldn't sell it. Again, it's one of those things you wouldn't sit there and go, oh, come on. You try to sell it. If you don't get the call, then it's like whatever. But if they miss the call, that's when you're going to go, oh, come on, Brian, come on.
One more look. So an infield single for Ramirez. First base runner of the game for the Brewers. As Jonathan Lucroy takes a call, strike 1-1. What a series for Lucroy against the Phillies last week in Philadelphia. He went 8 for 13 with 3 home runs.
Hey, could have had a fourth. A ball that hit off the railing and left field with the bases loaded. Had to be reviewed. Ended up being a triple. Or I should say it may have been a double, but all 3 runs scored. That's when review worked that time.
Two-one from Kendrick. Long foul off to the right side. So we take you back to last Sunday in Philadelphia. Lucroy at the plate. This originally ruled a home run. Changed to a triple following the review. And then the next night, Ricky Weeks in the 7th inning hit what was originally ruled a home run. But after a review, that was changed to a triple.
Hit the top of the wall, that yellow line, and a lot of people think the yellow line is a home run, but it's not. It's just a yellow line.
Called strike 3, so Kendrick with his first punch out. 1 away. And as we say in football, Eric, the yellow line is unofficial.
It's unofficial. You see it out there, and really all that's used is to differentiate that, where the wall, top of the wall ends, and then what you have behind it. Again, a lot of people think that, oh, if it hits a yellow line, it's a home run. See that area right beyond the fence, the pole. There's an area that is not designated yellow. That's beyond the fence. That is a home run.
I would guess that is to differentiate the foul pole from that yellow line on the wall.
I think we ought to have a quiz on this in about 2 innings. Send it out to our viewers. Ground rules on Fox.
Stay tuned. Carlos Gomez awaits the 0-2 from Kendrick. Ramirez takes his lead off first. And Gomez is down on strikes. Second consecutive strikeout for Kyle Kendrick.
Gomez gets an off-speed pitch. It's really out of the zone. He's swinging for the fences there and comes up empty.
With the Phillies leading 1-0, Eric, our 4 keys to the game.
Well, the Phillies lead all of Major League Baseball in quality starts. They've been great starting pitching. So far, so good in the early returns here. Gorzelani needs to go, and I meant he's got to give you some innings. And right now, like 2 innings, the 4 hits, and he's been getting hit hard, not the way that he would like to have started. But again, 1-0 ball game.
The number 7 hitter, rookie Weeks, batting just .198 this season. An all-star 2 seasons ago. Hit a career low .230 last year.
And Ron Renicky telling him the other day that it's a platoon situation. He's getting the start today because he has some good numbers against Kyle Kendrick, but he and Scooter Gennett, the other second baseman, just recently brought up, they're going to be sharing time until somebody decides they want the job and makes a decision for Ron Renicky easy by one of the guys playing well.
Off the glove of Young. Everybody's safe, so the Brewers now with 2 on, 2 out.
This ball hit hard, but it's got top spin on the ball. And top spin, when it hits the dirt, just takes off on an infielder. So unless you get it when it hits just right off the ground, it's very tough because it's like it picks up speed. It eats you up as an infielder. Tough play for Michael Young there. See, once it hits that dirt, you're in a ton of trouble.
An infield hit for Ricky Weeks, so 2 infield hits in the inning for the Brewers. An opportunity for Juan Francisco, acquired from Atlanta this past Monday. Francisco has power, came up with the Cincinnati Reds. Ron Renicky telling us it's a good opportunity for Francisco here in Milwaukee. He could play some third base, some first base, starting at first today. He's hit 5 home runs this year, but with 2 on, grounds out to the shortstop Rollins to end the inning. So the Brewers strand 2 will return after a word from your local Fox station. by Ace Hardware. Phillies lead the Brewers 1-0. Top of the third here in Milwaukee. Kenny Albert, Eric Karros, Dominic Brown with his National League leading 19th home run of the season for the Phillies, leading off the second inning against Tom Gorzelani, making a spot start. Marco Estrada, the scheduled starter today, suffered a hamstring injury earlier this week. So it is Gorzelani, who started 111 games earlier in his career, making the start for the Brewers. And Gorzelani told me yesterday, Eric, different mentality. He says, coming out of the pen, you attack the hitters, but as a starter during the early innings, you look to set up some of the guys. As Young has his second hit of the game.
Well, I understand that, and the thing about it, though, what he's trying to do, or what he should be trying to do, is pitch like it's just one inning and that's all he's going to be out there for, because what he's tried to do so far is navigate his way through and maybe not go with his best stuff, but the reality is 5 hits in 2 innings. That's not really where you want to be.
Ron Renicky hoping to get between 50 and 60 pitches from Gorzelani. He has already thrown 40 and has not yet recorded it out here in the third. Strike one to Franzen. Grounded into a 6-4-3 double play started by Segura, his first time up. Leadoff man has reached in each of the first 3 innings for Philadelphia.
Again, what I'd say early on right now is Gorzelani's not missing the barrel often. You know, guys are hitting the ball. They're having good swings against him.
Nothing in 2 on Franzen. Jimmy Rollins waiting on deck. Hard hit left field. Coming on is Braun to make the catch for out number 1. Time for a game break. We check in with Matt Feskerson at the MLB Network studios. Matt.
Kenny, longest game in the big leagues this year. Mets and Marlins. It was 1-1 until the top of the 20th when Adeiny Echeverria made it 2-1 Marlins. Sean Markham becomes the first pitcher since 1989 to go 8 or more in relief. He took the loss. This is one that you miss your flight after, Karros. Back to you guys.
You know, I'm glad to see Matty's going to be getting out of that studio pretty soon. Going to come out into the real world here with the rest of us. I just hope he doesn't get a game like that.
I know the feeling.
Man, that's right. You had that 8-inning game, right? 18 inning, was it? St. Louis, 20 innings, actually, if I recall, with Tim McCarver. That was, they scored a run and they tied it up. What inning was that?
It was 3 seasons ago, April 2010, as you saw on the graphic. Mets and Cardinals at Busch Stadium, as Rollins fouls it off, 0-2. They were scoreless through 18. Mets scored a run at the top of the 19th. And then when the Cardinals scored in the bottom of the 19th, Tim McCarver said, of course they do. And then St. Louis would win the game in 20. So the Mets, 3 years
right
later, do it again. Losing to the Marlins 2-1. Phillies lead this game 1-0 on Dominic Brown's 19th home run of the season, leading off the second inning. To Rollins, fouled off to the right side.
Oh, Jimmy Rollins hitting in that third spot. He's getting on base all right, but again, he just not slugging like historically he has. Coming in today at .390 slugging percentage. Remember back in his MVP year, hitting over 20 home runs. Always been a guy that had good power. You talked about it prior to the game, Kenny. You know, this lineup today, you know, there's no Ryan Howard. We've been accustomed to seeing Ryan Howard out there every day. Obviously, Chase Utley on the disabled list. He's not out there. Carlos Ruiz, catcher. You know, this is a much different ball club right now. You know, there is some youth. There's some reason to be excited.
Oh, 2 from Gorzelani in the dirt. And Rollins is down on strike. Second strikeout for Gorzelani. As we go around the stadium and take a look at the Fox Sports 1 fan cam, where we see fans who are excited about America's new sports network, Fox Sports 1, coming August 17th. Here's Delman Young with 2 away. And this is pitch number 50 from Gorzelani. 0-1 on Young.
I'd have to say this inning looks so far as where he's been most effective. He's hitting corners. He just threw all strikes to Jimmy Rollins. Didn't throw a ball to Kevin Franson as well. First ball right there. The last 3 hitters.
The most pitches Gorzelani has thrown in a game this season prior to tonight was 30 out of the bullpen. 1-1 to Young. And in the right field corner, it is Aoki making the play to retire the side. So Michael Young stranded on first. Still 1-0 Phils.
I'm going to admire that.
Well, Tom Gorzelani admires the first pitch from Kyle Kendrick.
You know what? That looks so darn comfortable, though, doesn't it? I mean, how can you go? I mean, I get it. It's, you know, it's, what is it, Cervecero Day today? But that just can't be fun right there. What about a 20-inning game for her?
Wow.
Woo.
Gorzelani, who has thrown 52 pitches over the first 3 innings, leads off for the Brewers here in the bottom of the 3rd. 2 hits and 6 at bats this year for Gorzelani.
A little surprised by that too, because that to me tells me that Ron Renick's hoping for another 2 innings. You know, because if you're just trying to get 1 inning, or you're only going to have him throw 1 more inning, maybe a pinch hit right here. You use one of your players, try and start something. You've got the top of your lineup coming up. But he must be hoping for another 2 out of Gorzelani. There's Ron Renick, one of 3 managers in Brewers history to have consecutive winning seasons.
Along with George Bamberger and Tom Trebelhorn. Gorzelani down on strikes. 3rd strikeout for Kyle Kendrick. Time now for the Own Your Space Pitcher Profile, brought to you by Avis. Kendrick's last start against the Brewers last August here in Milwaukee, he was tremendous. Did not allow a run in 8 innings.
Right, and you know, the thing about it is, you just mentioned here in Milwaukee, it's one of the best places to hit in all of baseball. You talk about Coors Field, that leads everybody by a lot. But this is also an excellent place for some offense.
That was his only career win against the Brewers in 4 starts. Aoki, first pitch, a diving play is made by Franzen, takes it to the bag for out number 2.
So there's the advantage of being a right-handed first baseman. He's got his glove towards the line. He extends himself, makes a great play. You see, he was playing in as well. Had to respect Aoki's speed, possible bunt. Nice play by Kevin Franzen.
So quickly 2 away. Here's Segura. Rounded out to the shortstop Rollins. His first time up. Phillies lead the Brewers 1-0. Dominic Brown, National League leading 19th home run at the top of the 2nd inning off Gorzelani. Well hit, left center. Number 9 for Segura. We are tied at 1.
Again, this pitch just down the heart of the plate. Segura does not miss it. You say, again, the speed is there, but also the power. Doubles, triples, home runs. And Kyle Kendrick knows. We just talked about him, not giving up a run here in his last start. Again, a great place to hit. Jean Segura, so far this year, great hitter.
Ryan Braun flies to left his first time up. Who were the 2 guys you talked about during our open?
Well, it was the 2 that you suggested, and our producer Carol Langley suggested. Dominic Brown and Jean Segura.
They have both gone deep, accounting for the first 2 runs in this game.
I can honestly say, though, after hearing about that Mets-Marlins game today, I am rooting for one of these teams to score again within the next 6 or 7 innings.
Well, one of these guys might have something to say about that. They've combined to take National League Player of the Week honors 3 of the last 4 weeks. And now Braun with a base hit into center field. So after Kendrick retired the first 2 Brewers, here in the 3rd, Segura with a solo shot, and now Braun with a base hit up the middle.
Well, and this is his 2nd time through the lineup. And remember, he retired Aoki, but that was because Kevin Franson made a great play at first. Probably would have been a double. You see the 3 guys that have seen Kendrick for the 2nd time have hit the ball well.
Aramis Ramirez at the plate. Infield hit his first time up. Braun back in. He has 4 steals this year in 9 attempts.
That's not a good percentage, Kenny. No.
It would be an outstanding batting average.
Well, I think in this situation, you've got to let Ramirez, at least until he gets 2 strikes, have a chance to drive the ball to the alley. And the last thing you really want to do is get thrown out at second base, and then you have Ramirez leading off the next inning. Again, if he has 2 strikes on him, then you can think about it. But now if you're Braun, you have an opportunity to do something. At worst, you get thrown out. You have Ramirez start over with the count leading off the next inning. You do get down to 2nd. You're in scoring position. Ron Renicky there.
Oh, 2 to Ramirez, low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Center field. Coming on is Mayberry, and that will do it for the Brewers in the 3rd. They tie the score. Home run number 9 for number 9, Segura.
He hit his last at bat. On the left part of your screen, when he makes contact, look at his hips. They are squared to the pitcher. They haven't spun out, going all of his power driven right through the pitcher. Now, if you look on the right over here, watch the hips. They're going right to the pitcher, but the upper body pulls the hands in and rotates the upper body. When he makes contact, everything is going out through the middle of the field. The hands are inside. It's what allows him to maximize his power.
Number 19 on the season for Brown, but this time Gorzelani keeps him in the ballpark. On the first pitch, Brown flies out to Gomez in center field. It was Gomez who robbed John Mayberry of a home run back in the second inning. And now Mayberry will step in. Eric, I think it's safe to say that you have made history. You were the first person who has seen Brown, Segura, and Yasiel Puig all homer in person in the same week.
There you go. I had an opportunity to see Puig, the fantastic outfielder for the Dodgers, earlier this week. What a start he's had. You talk about a physical specimen. I mean, physically, there's no comparison as far as what he looks like in a uniform, but how that's translated into his accomplishments on the field so far has been second to none. The 4 home runs, when the home runs were hit, the meaning of the home runs, he's just really energized that Dodger ball club right now.
And when you look at his first 4 home runs, 1 solo shot, a 2-run homer, a 3-run home run, and a grand slam.
Taking care of it all. And the problem is people start to expect that now. Setting the bar pretty high for himself.
Mayberry down on strikes. 3rd strikeout for Tom Gorzelani. Tonight's telecast is presented by Ace, where getting help is just like going to your neighbor. And sponsored by AT&T. Rethink possible. Gorzelani has retired the last 5 Phillies he has faced. An economical inning so far. Only 5 pitches here in the 4th. Eric Kratz up the middle. And the throw by Weeks beats Kratz to the bag. A 6-pitch 4th for Gorzelani. Kenny Albert, Eric Karros, Baseball Night in America on Fox. Phillies and Brewers tied at 1 as Jonathan Lucroy gets set to lead off against Kyle Kendrick. Lucroy called out on strikes his first time up. Lucroy, Gomez, and Weeks for the Brewers. As we are joined from the Phillies dugout by tomorrow's starter. There he is, 22-year-old right-hander Jonathan Pettibone. Record of 3-1 over his first 9 starts. First of all, Jonathan, thanks for taking a couple of minutes and joining us here.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Diving stop by Michael Young from just in front of you, Jonathan. How about that play?
Yeah, I like it.
So 1 away as Lucroy is retired. Now we have to ask you about your teammate as we take another look at Young robbing Lucroy of extra bases. But how about Dominic Brown? You spent last season with him in the minor leagues for a portion of the season, and another home run tonight, his 19th of the year. What's it been like to watch him on a daily basis?
No, it's been great. You know, it seems like every game, you know, we're kind of just waiting to see what he does that night. So as a pitcher, you know, you love the run support, you love the offense. That was close there. We don't want to lose him. But yeah, you know, I mean, something new every night, and it's been fun to watch from the dugout's perspective, and then, you know, also when I'm on the mound, getting that added run support.
Jonathan, Eric Karros here. The big league draft. High school kids are going to go away. You are a 17-year-old third-round pick on your own. What advice do you give to the youngsters when you're going out there, besides battling with those sunflower seeds right now?
You know, it's a huge decision. It took me almost the whole summer to decide. I was tossed between going to USC and then, of course, signing with the Phillies. Looking back on it now, it was this correct decision, you know, for me and my family. But I think what it really comes down to is like what you really want. You know, how dedicated or how much you want that as a career, you know, and that was, you know, the dream of mine as a little kid was playing professional baseball. So that's what, you know, made it easier. My dad played, so I've been growing up in the baseball family. So that's kind of what it came down for me, was starting the career, you know, as a 17-year-old and just getting that professional teaching, you know, coaching at that young age.
What was the biggest challenge you had being away from home at 17 and you know, not only being on your own, but you know what, you're going out to compete, and this may be the first time in your life that you ever failed?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a shock, you know, growing up in California. They sent me down to Florida that summer, my senior summer, you know, and all my friends back home, they were living on the beach the whole summer, and I'm here battling the Florida humidity, you know, playing every day at 1 o'clock, drenched in sweat. So it was a little shell shocked at first. You know, you grow up fast. And that was probably the biggest thing, was just being on my own, away from my parents. And you kind of just get used to the lifestyle. You build off each year, and I'm here now.
And you mentioned your dad, who pitched in the major leagues for the Twins, but he also played for Charlie Manuel in the minor leagues. Your manager, what kind of advice did he give you about playing for Charlie?
I think since he's down in the end of the dugout, I can say this, but he said if it's hard to understand him now, you should have seen him back then.
Some terrific parental advice. Jonathan, thanks for joining us. Best of luck tomorrow.
Yeah, no problem.
America is presented by Ace Hardware. Back in Milwaukee, Phillies and Brewers tied at 1. A look at right-hander Tyler Thornburg, who made his season debut for the Brewers on Wednesday night after his recall from AAA Nashville, where he was a starter. Actually went 0-7 in his 12 starts with the Nashville Sounds, recalled by the Brewers. And Thornburg on in relief of Gorzelani, who threw 58 pitches over 4 innings. Cesar Hernandez looked to bunt his way on. Here's Thornburg off the mound, and he throws him out.
Oh, nice play by Thornburg. He gets off the mound well, and he doesn't try to hurry anything. Gets over there, bare hands it, makes a good strong throw. And a lot of times you get over there, you start to panic, you feel like you've got to hurry, and that's when you don't get a solid grip. Maybe you're off balance, but good job by the young pitcher.
Here's Kendrick, who bounced out to the second base for Weeks, his first time up. Eric Gorzelani really settled down over his last 2 innings. He retired the last 6 Phillies he faced. 16 of his last 18 pitches were strikes, and he completed his night with a 6-pitch 4th inning.
Yeah, he was really starting to settle in. A little surprised that he didn't get run out there again, but as we mentioned at the top of the show, it was 50, 60 pitches, and Ron Renicky felt like, look, he's done his job.
Kendrick down on strikes, so 2 away. There were a total of 14 pitches thrown in the 4th inning. 6 by Gorzelani and then 8 by Kendrick as we rush through our interview with Jonathan Pettibone.
Nothing wrong with that. Sorry to cut that interview a little short, but nothing like some good, well-played baseball where a lot of strikes are being thrown.
As Pettibone was trying to fend off those sunflower seeds, looked like Cliff Lee was the biggest culprit. A couple of over-the-shoulder tosses by Cliff. And we alluded to Pettibone and his dad, Jay, who pitched for Charlie Manuel in Orlando. And one of Jay Pettibone's teammates on that team, Jeff Trout, the father of Mike Trout. Trout's, of course, natives of South Jersey, just outside Philadelphia.
Well, it's got to be interesting for Charlie Manuel, I mean, to manage dads and then to have their sons come up to the big leagues, play for you.
Michael Young grounds out to the second baseman Weeks. So after a 14-pitch 4th, only 8 pitches thrown by Thornburg in the 5th. presented by Ace Hardware, is sponsored by Chevrolet. Find new roads. Phillies Brewers tied at 1. The last 9 outs, Eric, have been recorded on only 22 pitches.
Yeah, pitching is really taking over. I don't know if the pitching's gotten that much better, or the hitters all of a sudden are starting to be a bit more anxious.
Juan Francisco leading off for the Brewers against Kyle Kendrick. Record of 6-3 this season. He's thrown 2 complete games. Tied his career high with 11 wins last year. Fair ball, and Franzen will take it to the bag for out number 1. Chevrolet, the official vehicle of Major League Baseball, is celebrating a new season for new memories. For your chance to win a community field makeover and an all-new 2014 Impala, visit ChevyBaseball.com. Here's Tyler Thornburg, who came out in relief of Gorzelati. Batting for the first time this season, 1 for 5 last year with the Brewers. We've talked about Kendrick's recent success. It's his 7th year in the major leagues, 7th round pick back in 2003. Since last July 1st, Kendrick is among the major league leaders in wins with 15. Check out this list with Verlander, Scherzer of the Tigers, and Wainwright, each with 17 wins since July 1st of 2012. Kendrick not far behind.
Well, he's really come into his own, and this is a guy that's had to persevere through a lot. What I mean by that, he's had some struggles. He'd get sent down. He was always talking, is this going to be a guy that gets traded? And you saw those numbers, a 2.92 ERA since July 1st.
He gives a lot of credit to his teammate Roy Halladay, pitching coach Rich Doobie, along with some of the other veterans, Cliff Lee, Cole Hamels, for his success.
Yeah, and he can give credit to everybody, but at the end of the day, it's because he's worked. He's continued to improve. While others may not have had a ton of confidence in him, he's always believed in himself.
Playoff pitch to Thornburg. Long foul down the right field line. You were talking about the draft with Jonathan Pettibone, and Kendrick was a terrific quarterback. Had a scholarship offer from Washington State. He said once he was drafted in the 7th round by the Phillies, made the decision to play professional baseball. As Thornburg grounds out to Rollins, we check in with Matt Vasgersian at the MLB Network studios for a game break. Matt?
Kenny, 2nd and 2 with the Red Sox and Angels. David Ortiz began the night 1 for 18 against C.J. Wilson, but with 2 on and 2 out in the second, gets to him to the opposite field to make it 3-0 Boston. A Mike Trout single has put the Angels on the board. 3-1 Sox. Back to you and EK.
All right, thanks, Matt. Second of a twin bill at Fenway. Red Sox with a 1-game lead over the Yankees.
Just look at that Eastern Division. Only 3 games separate the 4th place team, first place team. That's 1 good week. It'll be a heck of a lot of fun to watch that all summer long.
Before the season began, many people felt that you could put the 5 team names in a hat, pick them out in any order. That could be the final standings come October in the American League East. Blue Jays have had their struggles.
Yeah, I'm surprised with how well the Yankees have fared dealing with all the injuries. Toronto, I couldn't jump on board with that.
You don't win the division on paper.
No, and even Baltimore, that all the things that went well for them last year, as far as winning in extra inning games and 1-run ball games. But it's been a lot of fun so far.
Orioles hanging in there, just 3.5 out. 2-2 now on Aoki, who has grounded out twice. And as we mentioned earlier, does not strike out very often. He has now gone 61 consecutive plate appearances, longest active streak in all of baseball. Two balls, two strikes with 2 outs, bottom of the 5th inning. Home runs for Dominic Brown and Gene Segura. Payoff pitch from Kendrick inside, ball 4. Aoki heads down to first. First walk issued by Kyle Kendrick tonight.
Kendrick trying to paint some corners on the last couple pitches, unable to get the call from home plate umpire Mark Carlson. That's a pretty darn good pitch right there. Carlson didn't like it. I will say this, he's had a hitter's zone tonight. There were a couple of calls against Tom Gorzolani that probably could have been called strikes.
Segura takes strike 1. We take you back to the 3rd inning when Segura took Kendrick deep for his 9th of the season.
Yeah, 1-1 off speed pitch just left over the middle of the plate. Segura not fooled at all.
Nothing at 2 on Segura. Spent 5.5 years in the Angels organization, acquired in the Zach Greinke deal last July. What a season so far.
Yeah, and what makes him such a good hitter is his ability to go to right center. Waits for the ball to travel, and because of that, the off-speed pitches, he's not out in front, he's not rolling, he lets it get deep as he did his last at-bat when he hit the home run.
Segura strikes out. 5th strikeout for Kendrick. 5 innings in the books in Milwaukee, tied at 1. Scotts, the official lawn care company of Major League Baseball. And by the makers of One A Day Meds, the official multivitamin of MLB. Baseball night in America. Phillies Brewers tied at 1. Tyler Thornburg, second inning of relief. Tom Gorzelati, the starter, went 4. First start of the year for Gorzelati as Kevin Franzen leads off. Franzen 0 for 2, swings at the first pitch. And it is off the wall in right center. So Franzen, after the last 9 Phillies had been retired by Gorzelati and Thornburg, is in with a leadoff double here in the 6th.
Well, Franzen having a day so far. Hard hit ball his first at bat, has made some nice defensive plays at first. And here jumps on a first pitch high fastball, drives it to right center. Thud. You see him hustling in there to second base. The sounds of the game right there. Crack of the bat, that bring the ball off the wall.
Have you practiced making that sound of a ball hitting off the wall? It's pretty good.
Was working on it last night. Well, how about that? You see the number 3 hitter in your lineup bunting. Not often that's going to take place, but again, this Philly ball club just trying to manufacture runs. Get Franzen over to third base with less than 2 outs. So if he's not going to bunt, now you try to pull the ball. You've got to hit it to that right side of the infield. See Francisco playing in over at first base. He has to do that now because Rollins offered a bunt.
Instead, he hits it to the left side, and it gets through into left field for a base hit. Rollins heading for second, and he is in.
That's a great job by Jimmy Rollins because he hustled down at first, but he was watching Ryan Braun, who just nonchalantly got the ball and just kind of flipped it in. And really what this was is Jimmy Rollins, an experienced ball player, taking advantage of Ryan Braun. Now watch Ryan Braun right here. I just get it. Oh, let me just flip it in there. And that wasn't even a good flip. That was just, let's get some hang time on that. See, Rollins has no intention, but he sees that. And hey, look, and look. Oh, there's that flip. That's a great job by Jimmy Rollins. And there's no excuse for that. I mean, you can make excuses for guys when they misplay a ball or it takes a bad hop or they strike out. Physical errors are going to happen. That is not a physical error. That is a mental error.
Now the infield in following back-to-back doubles as Delman Young fouls it off down the right field line. 0-1. Young 0 for 2. Flied out twice to the right fielder Aoki. There's Franzen, takes his lead off third. Rollins off second. 0-2 on Young.
And you can see by that swing, Delman Young trying to shoot the ball to the right side. The Brewers have their infield in. Delman Young trying to go to the right side, get a runner in, move Rollins over to third.
Young strikes out on 3 pitches, 1 away. Let's take a look at the Fox Sports 1 pitcher comparison presented by Fox Sports 1, America's new sports network, coming August 17th.
Hey, look at those numbers, pretty darn similar. You know, Gorzelati, I thought really settled down. His first 2 innings, he was getting hit pretty hard. But then he did an old switcheroo and just started dealing.
Each starter allowing 1 solo home run. Dominic Brown at the plate took Gorzelati deep. Back in the second inning. Bounce to the right side. The throw comes home. And Franzen is tagged out.
Dominic Brown offering at the very first pitch. The second time he's done that today. Francisco does a nice job over at first base. And again, he hasn't played a lot of first base. Mostly third with the Atlanta Braves. Catches the ball, gets his feet set, makes a good, strong throw to LaCroix at home. Just a little surprised that Brown went after the very first pitch. And again, that's 2 at-bats, seen 2 pitches. Remember, the at-bat he hit the home run, he worked the count, got himself into a hitter situation, 3-1, drove the ball out of the ballpark.
So now first and third with 2 outs for Mayberry. Mayberry robbed of a home run by Gomez his first time up and then struck out on the 4th. Rollins on third, Brown over at first.
Well, there's nobody rooting harder for an out right now than left fielder Ryan Braun. He basically enabled this inning here. They may be able to escape it without giving up a run. There's a former MVP out there.
And a former MVP who took second base on the Braun throw.
Yes, sir.
0-2 on Mayberry. Well, the official score initially credited Rollins with a double, but it has been changed to a single, and then Rollins took second on the throw.
So there was an E7, or just takes it on the throw. They deserve an error for that.
Mayberry did not go around, says Brian Knight.
See, you know, I mean, not to question the scorekeeper, but somebody's got it. Either Rollins gets credit for a double there, and Braun gets, or Braun gets an error. It's one or the other. I mean,
you can't really give an error on a mental error. It has to be a physical error, right? But it was initially ruled a double.
Let's start lobbying for a new category. Mental lapses.
Now the 2-2 on one hop, Segura. So Braun will sprint in from left field as the Phillies do not score a run in the inning.
Game break. Pirates have taken 6 of 8 from the Cubs this year. Big blow today. A Pedro Alvarez 2-run shot. I think Jeff Samardzija knew it too. Bucks 37-25, 3.5 back of first place St. Louis. New York and Seattle. Mariano Rivera has now saved 71 Andy Pettitte wins. Pettitte wins his 250th career decision, and the Yankees beat the Mariners 3-1 as we send you back to Kenny and Eric in Milwaukee.
All right, thanks, Matt. That is career save number 630 for Rivera. And how about the Pirates, Eric? Another shutout last night. 10 of their victories this year have come by a shutout.
Well, they're throwing well this year. There's no question. That's why they're in the mix right now. Again, I'll get excited come August.
Not yet, huh?
I've been fooled a couple times.
Still only June 8th.
What is it? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Not get me a third time, Kenny.
We'll check back in with you in a couple of months. Ryan Braun leads off for the Brewers here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 1 for 2, single his last time up. Braun leading Milwaukee with 35 runs batted in, but he has not gone deep over his last 14 games. Led the National League last season with 41 home runs. He has 9 this year. Kendrick falls behind 3-0.
Well, I think right now you got to let him. He's got to be swinging. There's something there that he can drive out of the ballpark. He's got to be swinging.
Take strike 1.
Yep, lets that one go.
John Axford up in the Brewers pen. (3-1) from Kendrick. Up the middle. Diving stop by Rollins, but Braun beats the throw. Second hit of the game for Ryan Braun.
Well, both the guys great athletes. Jimmy Rollins doing an outstanding job just to get the ball. Gets up and turns and throws. And Ryan Braun, again, sometimes we forget how quick and how fast he is. He's hustling down the line the whole way. He beats it out. Again, 2 excellent athletes right there.
So after Rollins was able to take second in the last half inning on the Braun throw-in, now Braun beats the throw after the diving stop by Rollins.
I'm not going to go with that comparison. Still trying to get Braun off the hook there. Ooh.
Up the middle. Base hit. Gets through to center field. And Braun is safe at third.
Well, I have to say, ever since that last inning, when the inning ended, Ryan Braun sprinted off the field. He sprinted down to first base on the base hit, and on that, right there, Ramos Ramirez hits it up the middle. Braun never, ever hesitating. And he's got that play in front of him the whole time. Now, that ball is thrown on the outside part. You see, it's just bang, bang, but it looks like Ryan Braun just beats him there. If that throw is a bit more to the right for Michael Young, he doesn't have to reach across his body to make the tag. And you see right there, it looks like he beats Ryan Braun as far as tagging him before his foot hits the bag, but called safe.
So runners on the corners with nobody out for Jonathan Lucroy. We talked about Lucroy's big weekend against the Phillies last week. 8 for 13 with 3 home runs, 8 runs batted in. He is 0 for 2 today. Robbed by Michael Young his last time up.
Well, the Phillies need a strikeout right now. That's what the Brewers were able to do, and the Phillies had runners on second and third. Delman Young up at the plate. Got the big strikeout, then a fielder's choice at the plate. And got out of the inning. Kyle Kendrick now wants to go over. He's got LaCroix 0-2. And he's not looking for a double play right now, not at least with this hitter. He's looking for a strikeout. I think you've got to nibble right now. Stay away from him. And if you're going to miss out away, not miss over the plate. Get outside and go even further outside.
Left field and deep. Braun scores. Holding at third is Ramirez. 30th run batted in of the season for Jonathan Lucroy. The Brewers have their first lead of the game.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what that conference was about, because they're going inside. How do you go inside right there? You want him at the very least to have to fish outside. You got him 0-2. Just not sure why you would go inside in that situation. Like I said, set up away. If you're going to miss out off the plate. Just not sure about that there.
So 3 consecutive hits to start the inning for the Brewers. Now second and third. Corner infielders in. Carlos Gomez at the plate. Swings at the first pitch. And it's popped foul. Back behind the Brewers dugout. 0-1.
Well, for as good a year as Carlos Gomez is having this year, and he is having an exceptional year. And the one area he has been weak is hitting with runners in scoring position. He came into today's ball game hitting 185. You know, as disciplined as he has been, he hasn't maintained that discipline with runners on.
Kendrick missing low and away. Now 1-1.
Well, this is big for Gomez. At the very least, you get a run in and move that runner over to third base. Give your next hitter a chance to drive in the runner.
Base hit left field. Ramirez scores. Moving to third is Lucroy. 29th run batted in for Carlos Gomez. It is now 3-1 Milwaukee. 4 consecutive base hits for the Brewers here in the 6th. Well, the conference on the mound next Saturday on Baseball Night in America. The Yankees head west to take on the Angels. Twins try and make up ground against the Tigers in the American League Central. Some of you will see the White Sox and Astros, Nationals, Indians, or Mariners Athletics. Baseball Night in America presented by Ace Hardware against next Saturday at 7 Eastern only on Fox.
Tell you what, looking forward to that game I've got next weekend. The Oakland A's, easily the best team in baseball over the last 20 some odd games. Resurrected that Moneyball approach and playing like they did early part of the 2000s.
A's have won 18 of their last 21.
Is there a team better?
First place in the American League West. So Kendrick has allowed 4 consecutive base hits here in the 6th inning. Still nobody out. Ricky Weeks at the plate with runners on the corners.
I mentioned Carlos Gomez and his struggles with runners in scoring position. Ricky Weeks coming to the plate right now. 0-87 with runners in scoring position. Again, you know that will go up. It's too good of a hitter.
Just foul. Weeks 4 for 46 with runners in scoring position. How about the Brewers? 1 run on only 4 hits over the first 5 innings. They've already scored 2 runs on 4 hits here in the 6th off Kendrick.
I think a lot of it, this is just the momentum that they were able to garner defensively in the top of the 6th when the Phillies looked like they were going to have a big inning. 2nd and 3rd, no outs. And they don't score anyone.
Ground ball to the right side. Brewers able to stay out of the double play with Gomez running on the pitch. So now 2nd and 3rd with 1 out.
Again, Franson doing a nice job. Gets off the bag, backhands it. Looks the runner at 3rd base back to the bag. Then beats Weeks to 1st. Franson has had a nice day over there defensively.
Really has. So 2nd and 3rd for Juan Francisco, who is 0 for 2, but made a good defensive play in the top of the 6th inning. On the ground ball hit by Dominic Brown, Francisco threw home to get Franzen at the plate.
Again, if I'm Kendrick right now, Kratz behind the plate, I'm not going to throw this guy a strike. I'm going to expand the zone. At the very worst, I walk him. I get the double play in order. But he has proven that he's a free swinger. And coming into today, 117 at-bats, 47 strikeouts.
Swings at the first pitch and fouls it off. Nice catch made by the ball boy down the right field line. Yuniesky Betancourt has come out on deck with the pitcher Thornburg due up next. 2nd and 3rd, only 1 out, 2 runs in on 4 hits in the inning. Infield in. 0-1 to Francisco. And it's popped foul. Now 0-2.
Well, he's fouled both of these pitches off, but neither one of them were strikes. They were both in off of the plate. Even if he's going to make contact, he's going to hit it foul. He's going to hit it off the handle. Kendrick's got to continue to do that. Throw something off of the plate. You've gone hard in twice. Well, maybe you go back in there again, and then you've set him up for something outside. He's probably looking away right now. Probably freeze him on an inside fastball. Now, see, he goes away. It was predictable. Again, stay off the plate if you're Kendrick.
Francisco down on strikes. So now 2 away for the pinch hitter Betancourt, who is in spring training, Eric, with the Phillies, and then picked up late in March by the Brewers.
Man, he's done well for this Brewer ball club, playing a lot of first base. He's had some big hits. Really, for a while, he was the power source in this ball club.
He has 8 home runs, driven in 30, which is second on the team, trailing only Ryan Braun.
But he's cooled off considerably. Did a lot of his damage in April, early part of the year.
Second and third, 2 outs. 2 runs on 4 hits in the inning against Kyle Kendrick. Low and away, 1-1. Two balls, 1 strike. Betancourt, a Brewer for the 2nd time, spent last season in Kansas City. As we mentioned, spring training with the Phillies.
Well, I know they're trying to be careful. You've got first base open, but this is a guy you want. You know, first base open or not, you want to get him. Aoki on deck is a guy, obviously makes contact, puts the ball in play, hits well with runners in scoring position. You don't want to mess with him with the bases loaded.
Now 2-2 on Betancourt. Lucroy, the runner, on 3rd. Gomez at 2nd. Brewers leading 3-1. Bottom of the 6th inning in Milwaukee. Pratt's out for another visit with Kendrick.
And Betancourt only 8 walks and a little over 200 at-bats. You know he's going to swing the bat. The thing is, you just don't want to give him something too good to hit. I throw him a strike. I throw him a strike right here. Last thing I want to do is walk him and go after Aoki with the bases loaded.
Payoff pitch from Kendrick. Betancourt swings. Right center. Drifting to his left as Mayberry makes the catch. Brewers score 2 in the inning. We will return to Milwaukee after these messages from your local Fox station. is presented by Ace Hardware. We welcome you back to Milwaukee. Kenny Albert, Eric Karros. Brewers now lead the Phillies 3-1. Tom Gorzelani made his first start of the season for Milwaukee, went 4 innings. Tyler Thornburg pitched the last 2. Now it is the former closer, John Axford, here in the 7th to face the bottom of the Phillies order. Eric Kratz, 0 for 2 tonight, will lead off. Brewers, Eric, hope to have their closer Jim Henderson back tomorrow. 9 saves this season in 9 attempts, and last night during a rehab start with Nashville, he struck out all 3 batters he faced.
He'll be a welcomed addition, although the bullpen has been great as of late. Hey, look at what they've done today. Forget all these guys, quote unquote, are bullpen guys. They've done a fantastic job so far. Well, Gorzelani settled down after the first 2 innings. Through the 3rd and 4th, great. Thornburg got out of a big mess in the 6th. They got Axford, who in his last 13 appearances has been unscored upon.
Time now for our Just for Men Auto Stop foolproof stat. Brewers over the first 5 innings, a run on 4 hits, and then they scored twice on 4 consecutive base hits in the 6th inning against Kendrick. So the Brewers lead 3-1, top of the 7th. Kratz at the plate, Hernandez on deck. Kratz caught looking.
There's just a 96-mile-an-hour fastball right there. But the thing about it, Axford, when he's getting his curveball over, you're in trouble as a hitter, because then you have to respect both pitches. And earlier in the count, he was able to establish that curveball. You just can't protect both of those.
So now it is Hernandez who takes a called strike. Axford came out in the 6th inning last night with 2 runners on base, and he retired the only 2 batters he faced, Billman Young and Eric Kratz. Gets Kratz again tonight. And now the 0-1 to Hernandez, 0-2.
There's that pitch right there, that curveball. When he's throwing that, again, as a hitter, you can't protect everything. You can't look for everything, and that thing's just dropping off the table. You have to hope that he can't throw that for strikes, because if he can't, then you just sit on the fastball.
One and 2 on Hernandez. Lance Nix has come out into the on-deck circle with the pitcher Kendrick due up next. Three things, Eric, that you need to know about John Axford. He correctly predicted 14 of the 15 Oscar winners. How about that?
It's pretty darn good. 15 out of 15 would have been more impressive.
Pitched in the College World Series back in 2002. Also sold cell phones at Walmart and Best Buy.
Pitched for Notre Dame. That's where Craig Counsell, he toiled at Notre Dame as well, a member of the Brewer management team now.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Axford.
It's just a fastball up out of the zone. One of those situations where, as a hitter 3-2, you're pretty confident the pitcher's going to throw a strike. It's almost as if you make up your mind prior to him even throwing. I'm going to swing. I'm going to swing. Oh, shouldn't have swung.
So Axford strikes out Kratz and Hernandez, and now Lance Nix, a former Brewer, takes strike one.
That's always pleasant too. You're sitting on the bench, you go up there, you got a pinch hit, and facing a guy like Axford that throws 95, 96, and he drops a curveball on you for the first pitch strike.
Nix fouls off the second pitch, 0-2.
Even better going up there and being 0-2.
You know the feeling, I guess.
Oh, I've done it. I do it about 120 times a year. That was my average. But see, now as a hitter, you just got to spread out. You're just trying to shoot the ball. At least Nix is shoot the ball to left field.
One-two from Axford, and Nix fouls it back to the screen. Third pitcher of the game for the Brewers, who lead 3-1.
You know, it's amazing. About a month ago, this ball club, I come in here to do a Cardinal Brewer game, and they were a game or a half game out of first place, playing really well. Oh. That's just a nasty pitch, probably off the plate. It looks like off the plate a bit. A ball that, again, as a hitter, you're just going, you got to be kidding me. I got to hit this.
Ramirez in foul territory makes the catch on the run. So Axford retires the side in order. 7th inning stretch time in Milwaukee. Where getting help is just like going to your neighbor. And sponsored by Chevrolet. Find new roads. Baseball night in America here in Milwaukee. Bottom of the 7th inning. Brewers lead the Phillies 3-1. A look at 26-year-old right-hander Michael Stutz on the relief of Kyle Kendrick. who allowed 3 runs on 8 hits in 6 innings. 1 walk, struck out 6. Stutes will face the top of the Brewers order with Marichka Aoki leading off, followed by Segura and then Braun. In case you joined us late, Dominic Brown with a solo homer back in the 2nd inning, his league-leading 19th of the season. Then at the bottom of the 3rd, Gene Segura answered with his 9th of the year. And then the Brewers would score 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning off Kendrick to take the lead. Fouled off to the left side, 1-1 on Aoki.
Well, I think if you really want to just review the game, go to the 6th inning. At the top of the 6th, the Phillies had an opportunity. Runners on 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. They end up not scoring. Brewers have the momentum. They come in. What do they do in the bottom of the 6th? They put up 2. Really, that whole inning right now, for me, is the ball game.
Bounce foul off to the right side, now 2-2.
Well, you see that right there. 62 plate appearances, no strikeouts, and he's been living on the edge today. He's had 3 at-bats today in which he's had 2 strikes. Able to fight him off.
Base hit into the right field corner. Extra bases for Aoki. He's around 2nd, headed for 3rd. And he is in with no throw.
Aoki just keeps on hitting, and he's not up there just trying to make contact. He's up there putting the barrel of the bat on the ball and driving things. You see that leg kick? He shoots this thing down into the right field corner. Doesn't come out. Delman Young does a nice job of getting over there and picking it up and getting it to the cutoff man.
First triple of the season for Aoki. He had 4 last year. So a leadoff triple here in the bottom of the 7th inning. As Segura steps in. Segura 1 for 3 today. Solo shot back in the 3rd, which tied the game at 1.
Well, take a look at this. Gene Segura, look at where he hits the ball. Mostly up the middle and to right field. There's a few to left field, but most of the percentage of his hits are up the middle and to right field. That tells me that he's waiting for the ball to travel. He's not up there getting pull happy. Thus, more time, less chance of not hitting the ball square. Again, if you can let the ball travel, you have a better chance of hitting it, of driving it. People, as a hitter, though, sometimes that ego gets in the way. I'm going to get up there and pull it, pull it, pull it. Very few guys are successful doing that.
One and 2, ball gets away from Crouch. Here comes Aoki, and he is out at the plate.
That's just not a smart baseball play in that situation. You're on third base. You've got one of the top hitters in the game at the plate. You've got an MVP on deck in Aramis Ramirez, one of the great clutch hitters in the last 10 years in the hole. Again, Aoki a bit overzealous right there, but Just not a smart baseball play.
Pitch in the dirt, 2-2 on Segura.
You know, and the thing is, I tell my little leaguers this too. Even if that play works out and he is safe just by a little bit, it's not a smart play. It's not a good baseball play. You got to know the situation, know the hitters you have up at the plate.
Hernandez from behind second, but Segura beats the throw, has his second hit today.
Kenny, you know what that was? That was another infield hit. Tops of all Major League Baseball coming into today, and he's just ups his total now to 20. Again, that speed, and we've seen it. This is just a guy that can beat out an infield hit, can drive the ball over the wall, you can do so many things. I wouldn't be surprised at some point he doesn't try to steal a bag.
He's 16 for 18 this season. Ryan Braun at the plate, 1 out, bottom of the 7th inning. There he goes. Here's the throw from Kratz. Not in time. Stolen base number 17 for Segura.
Well, Segura doesn't get that great of a jump, but again, he just outruns the throw. There's not much you can do right there as a catcher. And that just flat out speed. Slides to the outside part of the bag. Kratz does a nice job, but only so much you could do.
This one gets away from Kratz. Segura to third.
That's the second time Stutz has bounced the ball considerably in front of Kratz. There's not anything he can do. He's doing the best he can trying to block that, but you got to get it kind of close to the plate. That thing's a good 4 or 5 feet out in front of home.
To Braun, low and away, ball 2.
This is where Ryan Braun, he's been so successful over his career, is just to be, you know, you hate to use the word because it's cliche, but you've got to be patient. You've got the infield in, and it's very easy to get excited as a hitter. I've got the infield in, I've got a guy on third, but don't get greedy. Just try and shoot one to right.
Two from Stutz. Base hit it to left field. Segura scores. It is now 4-1 Milwaukee. 36th run batted in of the season for Ryan Braun on his 3rd hit of the game. So Braun on at first. Get ready, fans, for Fox Sports 1, America's new 24-hour sports network. Fox Sports 1 will be your home for great live sports, all the news and highlights you want, and shows and specials that only Fox could bring you. America's new sports network, Fox Sports 1, coming August 17th. Here's Aramis Ramirez, who has 2 hits tonight. Brewers have extended to a 4-1 lead. Braun back in at first.
Well, and Ryan Braun does a nice job of driving in Segura, but really Segura, manufactured, created, and did everything. You know, he gets the infield hit, beats it out down to first base. Then he puts himself in a position by stealing second. Then scores, and Braun is able to drive him in. Again, that's all Segura right there. Braun loses his helmet there. I don't know if that was on the tag or the ball hit the back of it. Again, Franson saying, look, I'm not over here a heck of a lot. Not real big on these pickoff throws, especially when Stutes is trying to throw it 1,000 miles over here.
Ramirez with the game-winning hit last night at the bottom of the 9th inning, driving in Segura. Stutes has allowed 3 hits in the inning. 1 out, the 0-1 to Ramirez. Fastball missing high. 1-1.
Well, again, you know, you talk about the Phillies this year, and one of the inconsistencies has been the bullpen. And I know this is just 1 inning right now, but again, it's just not clean. You know, every pitch seems to be a battle, and that's one of the things. The arms are definitely down there. There's no question they've got the arms.
There goes Braun. So the Brewers stay out of the double play as Rollins throws to first to get Ramirez. Now 2 out.
They have the arms down there, but they just haven't been able to get the execution. And, you know, we talked about it earlier in the show. The starting pitching has been as good as anybody as far as the quality starts and staying in ball games. But the bullpen is just, it's been suspect. And that's one of the reasons they're a 500 ball club right now. Charlie Manuel, though, saying that he thinks that he's got the arms to iron things out. And look, the Braves aren't invincible. They've got their holes as well.
Nationals with key injuries.
Now you get to the Nationals, you talk about the key injuries, the expectations for that ball club, and quite frankly, you know, a lot of expectations. That's a young team. It's a team that, you know, is still growing, learning how to play.
They lost another 1-run game today. Nationals on Fox next Saturday. Baseball Night at America in Cleveland. Braun takes his lead off second. 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th inning. Brewers lead 4-1. The 1-1 to Lucroy. He doubled in a run his last time up. Now 1-2.
LaCroix, the big hit of the game so far. He's down 0-2. Hit a big double. Kendrick unable to put him away.
Two from Stutes in the dirt, blocked by Kratz. Brewers with 3 runs on 7 hits over the last 2 innings against Charlie Manuel's Phillies. Phillies will have the top of the order in the 8th. Two, missing low, full count. Gratz has worn out the path to the mound over the last 2 innings.
Stutes is worn out in front of home plate, too, bouncing some balls. Again, a good arm, but just inconsistent.
This will be the 24th pitch of the inning from Stutes. It is low, ball 4. So now 2 on, 2 out for Carlos Gomez. Fox Sports sends out our thoughts and sympathies to those in Oklahoma affected by the storm. To help, you can text Red Cross to 90999 to make a $10 donation, or go to redcross.org. Carlos Gomez drove in a run in the 6th. Also took away a home run from Mayberry back in the 2nd inning. Gomez steps out. Time called by the home plate umpire, Mark Carlson.
You know, and Stutes right now obviously struggling to throw strikes. But what this does, too, is defensively right now, and you're out in the field, you're standing out there going, all right, come on. You know, let's get a ball over. It's ball 1, strike 1. And it's a long inning. You know, and you're trying to stay on your toes, trying to help your pitcher. But it's very easy to just kind of get out of the ball game when you're out there. That's why Cliff Lee for the Phillies, why he is such a joy to play behind. Not because he's a great pitcher, but he keeps you involved defensively. You're on your toes. You know he's going to throw you a strike. You're ready to move. Thus, you're going to make the plays. Here, you're standing around going, all right, can I get a strike here?
Stutes strikes out Gomez, so the inning finally comes to an end. Brewers add a run. Segura with the infield hit, driven home by Braun. Brandon Kintzler, the fourth Brewers pitcher of the night. John Axford retired the Phillies in order in the seventh. He struck out 2. So now it is Kintzler on to pitch the 8th. He's from Las Vegas, got married at a drive-through wedding chapel. He was a limo driver, also a manager at a Cold Stone Creamery, which was owned by his sister. As Michael Young leads off, and Eric, he actually credits scooping ice cream back in 2006 as part of his rehabilitation from shoulder surgery.
I could go for that. I mean, the arm, the elbow, the shoulder. The problem would be is not eating the ice cream. That's where I fall. There's a bride. There's another one. Look at that. I guess this is the place to go for weddings, huh? Come here and celebrate it at a Brewers game.
Big night for brides here at the ballpark. Now 3-1 on Young. Michael Young, 2 hits tonight, 2 for 3. Base hit up the middle, so a 3-hit night for Young. Leadoff man is out for the Phillies here in the 8th.
That's a nice job, Michael Young, getting on base, leading off the inning. Again, this is only a 3-run ball game. You've got the top of the lineup. And remember who you have on the bench. The Philadelphia Phillies have Ryan Howard. One swing of the bat can change the course of a game. You just need to get in that position where they can employ him. There's a big man right there. Charlie talking to him right now, and what do you think? Well, I'd like to use you for a home run. All right, well.
Could see him in the 9th. Here's Franson. Doubled his last time up. This Brewers bullpen, 3 2/3 hitless innings last night. They have not allowed a run on 2 hits in 3 innings today, but now back-to-back singles here in the 8th. As we check in with Matt Vasgersian at the MLB Network studios for a game break. Matt.
Kenny, we just wanted to show you this play. Check this out. Matt Carpenter, little tapper to the right side. Curly Neal to Meadowlark Lemon for the out. Joey Votto and Matt Latos making the highlight reel. It's 4-2 Reds late. Back to you guys in Milwaukee.
Cue up sweet Georgia Brown.
You know what's funny is you think that that's a hot dog play or a fancy play, but really as a first baseman, you have no way of getting it to the pitcher. You're running in towards home plate. You'd have to completely turn yourself around and try and make the throw. I mean, it's a great job of Joey Votto pulling that off.
Ever try it?
I have tried it. Done that in between the legs as well.
Did it work?
It did. And it's not, again, that's not a hot dog play by Votto. That is something that you work on, you're screwing around with it, but that's really the only play you have right there.
Phillies threatening here in the 8th. Back-to-back singles off Kintzler. First and second, nobody out. And Rollins falls behind 0-2.
Again, the Phillies have had their opportunities. We go back to that 6th inning, 2nd and 3rd, and nobody out, unable to score. Here they are, 1st and 2nd, and number 3 hitter up.
One-two from Kintzler, called strike 3.
Well, you look at this, there's no way that that's a strike. Hadn't been a strike all day, not a strike right there. Mark Carlson calls it a strike.
Rollins did not agree. Neither did Karros.
No.
One away. Here's Delman Young. Young 0 for 3 tonight.
Now that's 4 pitches that Delman Young is swung right through. You know, his last at bat, 3 pitches, he struck out. Been late on the fastball. I mean, it's almost as if you're doing him a favor if you're throwing something off speed. There he is, home run leader in the National League. Hit one earlier today. It seems like you just pump fastballs right now to Delman. He's just not catching up to anything. Again, if you throw him something off speed, you're doing him a favor right now.
One ball, 2 strike count. Dominic Brown waiting on deck. Two from Kinsler. Foul back to the screen, so Young stays alive.
Kinsler throwing that fastball, tempting to want to try and trick the hitter, but you know, LaCroix back there has got to continue to put down that fastball. He gets him there with the off speed. Goes out of the zone right there. Again, if you're going to spin it up there, make sure it's out of the zone. And this isn't even close. Not much of a chance here to hit it.
Second consecutive strikeout for Kinsler after back-to-back singles by Michael Young and Franzen. So now first and second with 2 outs for Dominic Brown. They take it back to the second inning off Tom Borzolani. League leading 19th home run of the season for Brown, his 11th in the last 15 games. Nothing in 2.
Look at those numbers. You see through his first 512 at-bats in the big leagues, 15 home runs. Been on a tear since. Talks about his work with Wally Joyner. He and Steve Henderson, both hitting coaches for the Phillies. Wally talking to him about loosening his grip, his top hand.
Left field, fair ball. 2-run score. Brown has driven in all 3 Phillies runs in the game. Phillies cut the Brewers lead to 1. It's now 4-3.
I think that right there is what excites Charlie Manuel more than anything, is just Brown's ability to hit, his ability to go the other way. And he's just starting to learn that, accept it, get better and better. You see, stays behind the ball, stays behind his front foot, drives the ball to left. It's not just a slap sort of thing. You know, I was speaking with Charlie prior to the game and just asking him, you know, did he think that this was just some sort of hot streak? And he said, absolutely not. That he thinks that this kid can be a star for a lot of years. Just because of his makeup, the work ethic, but his ability to drive the ball the other way.
Look who it is, Eric.
Hey, you figured that Charlie was going to employ him at some point. Again, one of the premier power guys in baseball over the last 6 years.
Phillies have pulled to within one with Ryan Howard looming. Well, this July, baseball's greatest stars gather in the most exciting city in the world for the biggest event of the summer. Baseball's Midsummer Classic returns to New York with home field advantage for the World Series on the line. It's the 2013 Major League Baseball All-Star Game live from Citi Field, July 16th, only on Fox.
Good chance you'll see that man there. He continues his stretch for another month or so. Mr. Segura as well.
Ryan Howard, a three-time All-Star, stepping in to face Kinsler.
And this is where you've got to be careful. Marty Aronoff pointing out to me that you could put Ryan Howard on at first base. And you've got Kratz on deck. You can be very careful with Howard. You've played too well to give it all up on one pitch right here and fall behind.
Ryan Howard this season with runners in scoring position with fewer than 2 outs, batting .400, but with 2 outs, and that is the situation right here, just 111. Brown takes his lead off second. Now 2-1.
Well, this is tough for Ryan Howard. First, you're coming off the bench. You've been sitting all game long. Then you're in a situation where there's 2 outs. First base is open. So in your mind, you know that they're not going to give you something good to hit, at least not on purpose. It's going to be a mistake. But you've got to be disciplined enough to stay off those pitches that are off the plate.
Two from Kinsler, right back to the box. So Howard is retired, but the Phillies score 2 on a dominant Brown double. 1-run game, middle of the 8th. are sponsored by Just for Men Auto Stop, the foolproof way to get rid of gray. And by the Dodge Dart. Dodge, new rules. Bottom of the 8th inning in Milwaukee, with the Brewers leading the Phillies 4-3. '27-year-old left-hander Joe Savory, the third Phillies pitcher, making his second appearance of the season with Philadelphia. New center fielder Ben Revere will bat in the number 9 spot. Savory in the 6th spot in the order, as Ricky Weeks will lead off for the Brewers. Weeks 1 for 3 tonight. Ricky Weeks, the 2nd overall pick in the draft back in 2003. The number 1 pick that year, Delman Young by Tampa Bay.
High school kid then out of Camarillo, California.
We alluded to the draft earlier. First-year player draft took place over the last couple of days. Brewers with their first selection, choosing a right-handed pitcher out of the St. Louis area, Devin Williams. And the Phillies with their first pick, as Weeks flies out to the left fielder, Dominic Brown. The Phillies with their first pick, choosing a high school shortstop out of California by the name of J.P. Crawford, cousin of Carl Crawford, selected 16th overall. And how about the players that both of these teams picked the last time they had the first overall pick? Brewers back in 1985, B.J. Surhoff, and Phillies in '98 with Pat Burrell, who went on to win a couple of World Series with the Phillies and the Giants.
Yeah, they didn't miss on that first pick. It's the last thing you want to do. But it's not always a guarantee.
No.
And a number of guys, very first pick in the draft, didn't pan out like those two, Surhoff and Pat Burrell.
And you talk about the draft not being an exact science. How about back in 1988? You were selected in the 6th round by the Dodgers. Here's the 1-1 to Francisco. And then 56 rounds later, a fellow by the name of Mike Piazza in the 62nd round of that 1988 draft.
And it just goes to show you how inexact everything is.
Who's this guy?
Yeah, that's out of UCLA. The thing about it, the draft, is like you look at Mike Piazza in that situation, you go, oh man, 60. But all the other clubs passed on him, and they continued to pass. So it wasn't a situation where, you know, just a few people didn't think that he could make it. Look, Tommy Lasorda thought he could make it. Tommy drafted him, and to Mike's credit, he was given an opportunity, but he worked as hard as anybody I've ever seen work. Made himself a great hitter, and really has had a Hall of Fame career.
And unlike the current day players who are watching the draft on television, tracking it on the internet, you were in the dorm at UCLA.
At my apartment at UCLA. Bob Bishop called me from the Dodgers, and I was under the impression I was going to go much higher than the 6th round, and I remember telling Bob when he called it.
On one hop, Rollins. Francisco is retired.
He said, congratulations, you've been drafted by the Dodgers, and in the 6th round. I said, that's great, I'm not going to sign, Bob, and I hung up. I was not happy. I hated the Dodgers, first of all. I grew up not liking them at all. That was my dad loved the Dodgers, my brother loved the Dodgers. I was a big Cincinnati Reds fan. And then, like I said, I thought I was going to go a lot higher than the 6th round. But I came to my senses, eventually signed, and look where it's got me. Right next to you, Kenny, in the booth in Milwaukee. Woo!
What was Bob's reaction the next time you saw or spoke with him?
Well, ironically, I didn't speak. I spoke with another scout, Gib Baudet, a couple weeks later, because obviously things didn't start off too well with Bob. But Bob Bishop and I would still stay in touch. Excellent scout for many years with the Dodgers.
Jeff Bianchi pitch hitting. Here's Rollins. We head to the ninth. Eric never hung up on me. There's Francisco Rodriguez. Will come out to pitch the ninth for the Brewers. Summary presented by Fox Sports 1, America's new sports network, coming August 17th. Dominic Brown, Gene Segura with solo home runs, 3 hits, a run batted in, and a run scored for Ryan Braun. So now in the top of the 9th inning, Francisco Rodriguez, 3 for 3 in save opportunities this season for the Brewers, and a long foul off to the left. Eric Kratz leading off for the Phillies, 0 for 3 tonight.
Again, Kratz with some power. 8 home runs this year. Make a mistake to him, he can tie this ball game up in one swing.
Now 1-1. Rodriguez pitched a perfect 9th inning last night, picked up the win. Unscored upon in 9 of his 10 appearances with the Brewers this season. 297 career saves. That is 3rd among active pitchers. Jonathan Papelbon of the Phillies not too far behind. 1-1. Foul back to the screen. Now 1-2. Great job by our entire crew here in Milwaukee. Our producer Karen Langley, McDermott, Director Jonathan Evans, Associate Director Brian Biederman, Broadcast Associate Paul Marmero, Executive Producer of the pregame show is Mike Connor, Producer Rich Cinciamino, Director Mike Martin. Thanks to Marty Aronoff, Mike Steve Pack, Rick Camps crunching the numbers for us here tonight with the Brewers leading 4-3. Pratt's got a piece of it. Well, Eric, the Prostate Cancer Foundation's Home Run Challenge starts this week. leading to Father's Day next weekend. All 84 Major League games from Tuesday through Father's Day next Sunday are Home Run Challenge games. Pledges can be made by going to homerunchallenge.org. A 1-2. Kratz held up. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, that's a nice pitch by Rodriguez. You're trying to get Kratz to fish. You don't want to give him anything that he can drive. Even if he hits that ball at the very best, maybe a single.
Kratz gets the bat on it. Here's Segura. 1 away.
I think Kratz might have hurt himself. He's not able to jog back to the dugout. Started taking a few steps, and then it's walk, and then it's a few steps and walk, and you know, he's hustling. He's trying to sniff that hit, and yeah, there's something. Either that's a calf or a hamstring. But he started to head back to the dugout. He'd take a few steps, and then he'd go back into a walk. So it'd be a number of things. Hope the big man is okay.
One away here in the top of the 9th inning. Cesar Hernandez takes strike 1. He's 1 for 3 tonight. Now 1-1. Make Sunday extra special by going out to the ballpark. Go to MLB.com/Sunday to find special ticket offers. One from Rodriguez. Now 2-1. We talked about the Brewers' 9-game winning streak during the month of April. But since then, only 9 wins, 26 losses. They've won 2 straight games just once since the start of May. That was last weekend against the Phillies. Looking to do it again following their come from behind 5-4 victory last night. But the Phillies have other ideas now. 3-1 on Hernandez.
And again, it's all revolved around the lack of starting pitching for the Brewers. And they just haven't had the consistency, and bullpen's been great. But you've got to get that starting pitching.
Full count. Payoff pitch to Hernandez, a call, strike 3.
Well, you see this pitch again, probably a bit low, but remember Jimmy Rollins in his last at bat, a pitch like that, probably even a little further outside. Mark Carlson calling that. You know, Brewer pitchers today, again, Marty Aronoff letting me know, no walks today. They've done a great job. Look at the overhead here. It gets to the plate again, but probably a bit low. Like I said, Jimmy Rollins had a pitch even further outside and low. Mark Carlson called it a strike.
And here's Ben Revere batting for the first time today, the former Minnesota Twin. Hitting just .245 this season. Brewers piecing it together. Rodriguez, the 5th Milwaukee pitcher, forced to use Gorzolani out of the bullpen. His first start of the season, he went 4. 2 innings for Thornburg, 1 apiece for Axford and Kinsler. Kinsler allowed 2 runs in the 8th. But the Phillies down to their final out. 2-1.
Not the time to get the first walk of the day, should say of the evening. If Revere gets down at first, you know he'll be a threat to steal.
Not a threat to homer. No career home runs in 1,177 at bats.
Well, you can look at it this way. Maybe he's due.
He certainly did. Brewers now 1 strike away. Payoff pitch to Revere. Right center, long run for the center fielder Gomez. He makes the catch on the warning track. Career save number 298 for K-Rod, Francisco Rodriguez. Gomez took away a home run from Mayberry back in the 2nd inning. And he makes the catch on the final out of the ball game as the Brewers defeat the Phillies 4-3. Time now for the King Plays of the Game, brought to you by Burger King, where taste is king. Segura at the plate, 7th inning, an infield hit. He then stole second. Moved to third on a wild pitch. And it is driven home by Braun. The Brewers' 4th run. And they needed it because the Phillies would score 2 in the 8th. So Gene Segura with a home run in the 3rd scores another run in the 7th. For Eric Karras, Kenny Albert in Milwaukee. Matt Vasgersian coming up after these messages.